And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
That's why we still wear Jordans instead of LeBrons.
Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today on this Friday. Welcome back to Fanboy Fridays. Fanboys, we hope your day is going terrible because you guys are getting more ridiculous by the moment. So, this article is coming from athlonsports.com. And it appears that LeBron James had some strange behavior during the Lakers-Nuggets game as he was sitting on the sidelines. So it says LeBron James turns heads with behavior during Luka Doncic's performance versus Nuggets. Los Angeles Lakers star LeBron James may not have suited up for Wednesday's showdown with the Nuggets, but that doesn't mean his presence wasn't felt on the court. Of course it doesn't. James, who hasn't played since March 8th after suffering a groin injury in LA's 111-101 loss to the Boston Celtics, is the Lakers' second leading scorer, 25 points per game, behind Doncic at 26.2 points per game. Though he is still on the mend from his injury, the 40-year-old James was sitting courtside for Wednesday's game at Crypto.com Arena. But he didn't stay seated long. A video started making the rounds on social media of an animated James wearing a Columbus Blue Jackets jersey, seemingly offering his teammates some supplemental coaching as he waved his hands and directed players where to go. Quote, LeBron coaching. So these are comments from the LeBron James fanboys right here, people. Says, quote, Coach LeBron coaching from the sidelines during Nuggets versus Lakers. The NBA on ESPN X account tweeted along with the 11-second video. In James' absence, Doncic went off for 31 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, and a block in the Lakers' 120-108 win. And guess what, people? I'm sure this is about somehow giving LeBron James credit for that win on the sideline. It said fans took to social media to applaud James for trying to motivate his teammates in his absence, with some even predicting James might have a future in coaching once his legendary manufactured NBA career comes to an end. Quote, is there something this guy can't do? Asked one fan. Quote, Le GM, Le coach, Le everything. Bron really does it all. Another fan exclaimed. Quote, he's itching to get back out there. One user pointed out. Quote, the most LeBron thing ever, and I love it. Another user chimed in. Quote, I can really see this being his next role after retiring. One fan quipped. Quote, King still out here playing 4D chess from the bench. Makes you wonder if his next chapter gonna be clipboard and whistle. Man, basketball IQ higher than most actual coaches in the league right now. And yet, your King is still 4-6 in the finals. It says 5 other Lakers besides Doncic hit double digits in points. Austin Reeves, Dorian Finney, Gabe Vincent, Dalton Knecht, and Jared Vanderbilt. All right, people. So, yeah. Now, you know, maybe you would say I'm reaching. After all, this is just one article. And after all, this is par for the course for the LeBron James fan base, for the LeBron James members of the 4-6 Kingdom. But it is just interesting.
We ain't gotta communicate.
How they
We damn sure don't have to say hello to you.
try to give this guy some kind of credit for this win against the Nuggets. It's interesting, but no surprise at all, because this is not only LeBron James, but the LeBron James fan base who caps for him regularly. Just like LeBron earlier, I can't remember what podcast he went on, but basically trying to say if Cleveland wins a championship, it's because he opened the door for that to happen. This is typical for the LeBron James fan base. But now, however, a player going on to coach, that is not unnormal. So, unfortunately, for NBA fans, this is a real and tragic possibility that could happen for those who are waiting for LeBron James to retire so that maybe the NBA can be on the mend. This is a terrifying thought that once this guy leaves the league, he could return as a coach. Now, if LeBron James returns as a coach, some people are gonna, automatically think, well, the guy who doesn't play defense wants to coach. But I would argue, if LeBron James is a coach, he will probably have a good defensive team. And the reason is because LeBron James has always gotten on his teammates about not playing defense. He just won't do it himself. LeBron James is a do as I say, not as I do type of person. So a lot of things that we dislike about LeBron James, I think him as a coach wouldn't necessarily be a problem, because again, LeBron James, if you've paid attention to his career, he's always trying to get people to do the things that he doesn't want to do. Whether that's take the game-winning shot, for whatever reason, because he's terrified of going to the free throw line, because he doesn't want the responsibility, and whether that's, him not playing defense and then throwing his hands up, looking at his teammates like what happened when he clearly stood there and made no effort. This is what LeBron James does, is tries to get other people to do the work that he knows should be done, which, putting it like this just makes the whole LeBron James things a lot worse. This guy just, when you think about the career of LeBron James, he has literally tried to use other people to make him the GOAT. In every sense of the word possible, people. In every sense of the word possible, LeBron James has tried to use other people to make him the GOAT. He's tried to use other people to put in the work for him to be the GOAT, instead of him being the one to actually do it himself. Like I said, if you even go back to the 2007 finals, a lot of people try to give him a pass and he was young and whatnot. And I even say, if it's anyone that he not gets a pass for, but, I feel like until you win an NBA championship, you don't know what it takes to win. So, but that's no excuse for his play on the court. And this is what I said about his play on the court in the 2007 finals is just like his play any other time. It's inconsistent. And to me, he wasn't the leader of he wasn't setting the tone out there. He wasn't the guy setting the tone. This is the problem. Like, to me, you had players like Varejao who played with much more energy than LeBron James. To me, especially defensively and hustle-wise, regardless of talent. And this is the thing, people always want to, try to down the talent, or talk about Boobie Gibson or whatnot. To me, Boobie Gibson, I could compare him to a BJ Armstrong type of player. But the reason he's not held in regard as a BJ Armstrong is because LeBron James didn't lead him to that. So, LeBron James didn't set the tone. So eventually what this evolved into is when LeBron James moved to Miami, he was using other people to help make a GOAT case for himself. He was using other people to help get those championship rings for himself instead of him being the one to grind it out, become a better player, become a better leader, and get those championships truly on his own by learning what it takes mentally in every facet of the game to be a winner. But no, he didn't do that. He went and joined someone who already knew what it was like to be a champion. And so, there begun the saga of LeBron James using people to help build his GOAT case. Trying to surround himself with people to do the work that he did not want to do. Having Kyrie take the last shot in 2016. I saw a video or something where it was said that LeBron James actually wanted Kyrie to be the one with the ball in his hands at the end of the game. That is, I'm sorry, people, that is un-GOAT-like behavior. Whatever happened after then, a real leader and so-called GOAT is going to want the ball in his hands first. And that's even going back to somebody like Magic Johnson. While Magic Johnson might not be known as a scorer, he's going to be the one to facilitate what happens in that last play, including taking the last shot if he needs to. And so LeBron James has used people to try and build a GOAT case for himself. Stop playing defense and, just go watch some Angry Old Hoops videos of LeBron. Countless times LeBron James standing there, letting his man run right past him, or standing there when he could have stepped over 2 steps to try to make a contest, and then looking at his teammates like, what happened? When he made no effort at all. But again, LeBron James wants other people to put in the work for him so that he could be labeled a GOAT. He uses other people to try to make his GOAT case. And then, of course, we don't have to point out that Unclutch Sports is the ultimate example of this. It's the ultimate example of my work on the court wasn't good enough to convince people that I'm the GOAT. So let me have my media company try to promote the narrative. Let me use people. Let me try to bully people. Let me send emails and make phone calls to media personalities who may say something that hurts my GOAT case. Let me make phone calls to try to tell people what they should and should not say about me. All the while pretending as if I had nothing to do with this. LeBron James has tried to use people to make a case for him being the GOAT. And so, like I said, coaching may be right up LeBron James' alley because he gets to sit there and do nothing while he tells everyone else what to do, what they should and shouldn't do, while he gets to get mad at people for not doing their job. And, except this time he's not on the court. But another thing that's going to be interesting, though, that in a climate that LeBron James himself helped create, and that is the climate of coaches, I feel like nowadays really have no security. Not to the same degree that they used to have it. If the team's not doing well, the coach is going to be the first person looked at. And you could say it's always been like that to some degree, but I would argue that the LeBron James era has made that even more prevalent because number one, the player entitlement thing. So you can't do anything with the players. So you got to blame somebody. And the coach is normally the first person who's going to take the blame, whose job is at risk and all that. This is another thing that's a part of the LeBron James era. And so that would be interesting to see if LeBron James became a coach. Will he be the victim of the climate that he helped create? And that is, if your team is sucking, you might be out of there, LeBron James. You'll be the first person who players are blaming. It would be very nice to see you get treated like you treated Darvin Ham. That would be very nice to see. But anyway, people, what else is new? The LeBron James fan base thinking this guy would be great at everything. Like I said, when the only thing he's really proved throughout his career is that he's good at using other people to do his work. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. What did you think about this article? What do you think about the possibility of LeBron James being a coach once he retires? How successful do you think he would be as a coach? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.